obviously. But in an ideal world, Bod gets to just roam around, have impact, play his minigame. And Kaisa alone in a side lane against Pantheon, Galio, Jhin, and Nico is just going to chain die. Much here really wants to get experience of this wave, but Owner's close to 6. Faker is already 6, so he needs to be very careful. They also know that there's no jungler towards the top half of the map, and it could dive here.
Yep, Faker already moving in. Let's see whether they just set it up. That is going to be the snare missing as Gumayusi takes a turret shot, but I think they've got a fair bit of time to make this one work. Beryl finally getting himself here, but the taunt is going to come down. Faker going to get stunned up as the heal comes through from Beryl. Faker cannot actually get his hands onto Xiu, so he does have to ult his way out. And now it's Beryl that finds himself in an uncomfortable position. Another wave comes in, a magical journey through the turret, and first blood over to Gumayusi as, yeah, the support traded his fate for that of his top laner. But is unfortunately unable to walk up and take that one down as Lucid does pull the grubs out. The rest of DK are roaming over, and as of course, Beryl does have control.
That's pretty big. If they can get Xiu here as well. Problem is that Doran has TP, and Eaming obviously does not. So I don't know if DK really want a hard committer, and it looks like they also think better of it.
Yeah, Faker is going to be moving over here as True Shot Barrage is looking to be a little bit tricky, but it's not quite going to work out. That is going to be Owner taking down the third grub. So that is all of them over to T1.
Deeper into the series is obviously both of them have ways to cancel TPs as well. A lot easier for Doran as T1 started up, and it looks like DK says, nope, this isn't the one either. And they have an early Drake, so they can afford to. But it does mean that I think they don't really get anything in return either. Faker's Galio, so maybe that, no, we're trading.
It looks like we might be trading.
Okay, I think just Lucid, though, doesn't do this fast enough.
They also might just take Otacon as well.
I mean, I guess they
There
could.
is an Ambassador up there, so like if they do just overload on top of Xiu though, then there's
Barrel's in the area.
They can take something down.
So I think that makes it. So I guess we just trade.
It is just a trade. Okay. There has been a kill in this game, as far as the action is concerned.
Atlas, you know how this feels when you buy something and you see all the disclaimers and you're like, I'm not gonna read those. I don't want to do that.
Yep.
You know, and in this case, you thought you were buying a cool action movie
where he's starting to do stuff.
He's dangerous.
I've got confirmation from Emily Rand, by the way, that she knows exactly what I was talking about. As Aiming now going to get caught out of position. The flash not going to quite work out, but the Tempered Fate, it certainly gets some work done. As now Aiming just gets sniped off. Sometimes you need your teammate to protect you, but Lucid was just getting out of there, and so Aiming now lying on the floor. And DK looking like they've had a bit of a jump scare. There is a fair bit of damage going on to this outer turret in the bottom lane. And now Gumayusi forced to flash out of the Cataclysm. But the Otacon is being taken, and T1, I don't know whether there's going to be a way to stop them.
I actually thought that DK could have contested there, but they're going to go for the first turret instead. Just willing to give up the Otacon, not really raiding it, I guess. And they do lose out on a lot of damage with their AD carry not there, but with Xiu, I think it's looking at the itemization. Xiu and Lucid both have ended, right? And Guma ended up still being caught there by Lucid. As
we're going to start this fight. True Shot Barrage does come on down as Gumayusi will get knocked up. No flash, no chance, he's out of there. The Cosmic Binding also is guaranteed when he's inside a rocky circle. And so that's Aiming, getting his revenge pretty swiftly here.
Phase, but playing Jhin into Jarvan and Bessa, guess what? It's not fun if you don't have flash.
Well, public execution is in goes Xiu, but I don't know whether that was a good idea. Still, it works as they focus down the turret, and Xiu's like, well, I'm out of here. My work is done. As Magical Journey is set up for Aiming, but he's unable to take it because he just stays a little too long out of turret, and ultimately, it's going to be a pretty even trade unless Shelly gets some extra work done as she gets a bit of a headache. Yeah, then gets driven towards the bottom side, and that should be 2 turrets.
I think the previous kill onto Aiming, given the amount of resources that were used, that one, I felt like, obviously it's rough as
oh no!
Still gets the turret, it's fine.
Sometimes the turning circle just ain't as good as the one you got at home, you know?
The previous death was excusable. They get the soul point. Because again, I think their 5v5 is incredibly strong.
Yeah, it certainly is. They are able to get the soul point. That is a big deal, as Cloud Soul, as we know, one of the greatest in the game.
For Guma, we do see T1 again think kind of building up that conditioning. So that is the real KIA.
Yeah, Treasure Barrage comes in. Taunt not going to quite find Beryl as Faker takes the magical journey, but immediately then gets stunned up. The exhaust is down on this Galio as Lucid wanting to Cataclysm over the wall, and he is going to successfully do so. Rock and a hard place, certainly, where Faker was there, and he falls. DK taking that as an opportunity to head towards this Baron, and this could be a huge gold swing if they're able to make this one work.
All right, we have a TP, and I think another person flanking here for T1. That's KIA behind them.
Yep, is this just Faker baiting? That's the question as Omna dives in, but the Tempered Fate is going to be there. Pop Blossom doesn't quite work as they take down KIA to start this one off. Still Shiu, still alive, and Gumayusi. It is the steal on the Baron though as Omna locks that one down, but it is Baron for Ace here on the side of DK, and maybe they'd still take it unless Doran is going to survive. This is a bit of a weird fight that's kind of prolonging things and ruining my rhythm, but that is absolutely fine. There is the Ace. As
Still
DK do get control of the river.
Now, with DK having control, their poke obviously quite strong. We do have Doran on a flank angle, will be found out. Oh, he's very deep!
He certainly is. Let's see whether he's going to try and make this one work as the heroic entrance does come in from Faker. Doran buying a lot of space as there's a fight on the top side as well. Aiming does try and get himself away, but it's Ona that locks down the double.
Shiu?
And Shiu is now trying to do what he can. Finally deals with this Aatrox, but these health bars are going down lower and lower still. There is no answer for this Ambessa, who gets on top of Gumayusi and crushes him. It's another ace for DK.
And at first, it seems like the script holds strong. T1, oh, someone looks overextended. The Avengers are there.
We've seen this so many times, though, from T1. It's like a team thinks that they've caught Doran in the LCK Awards. This guy has been absolutely incredible.
Atlas, it's time. Where are the vibes?
Not willing to enunciate because I will not be called a curse person. Okay.
That's fine. It's not that bad.
I know you wouldn't do it, but this is being broadcast out to at least dozens of people. He is going to be Winds of Ward.
Perfect KD, by the way. Has the death cap now, so
looking pretty good.
From this position, I think the biggest enemy for DK is just something they've really struggled with, which is their own consistency.
Tempered Fate going to connect onto only Doran as now Lucid just puts them in the circle. Pop Blossom there to answer, but it's KIA that goes down first, and now they're just falling one after the other. Cheers! Gets the gigantic shield, and that is looking like release Ambessa to me, as this guy is straight back to LCK Cup form.
And game one, DK strikes again, Atlas!
I guess, you know, the 3-1 predictors for T1, this is exactly the timeline that they were expecting, right?
I even said it at the top of the day!
Yep.
Oh, what if?
Yeah, no.
What if, Atlas?
And it's not even a what if for game one, because now the script states it's a 3-zip for T1. We just skipped the first one.
Things like Sion, Cho'Gath, and Ornn, I think, has really struggled. K'Sante, to me, does feel like he is a lot more nebulous. As is he a true tank versus is he more of a, you know, bruiser or tank turns into a bruiser?
Back to lane already.
Doesn't look like it's anything besides a good amount of experience.
Step up Rise does come in as Doran's gonna get pulled back! Doesn't get hit by the turret, but he doesn't need it! Solo kill from Shiu! Okay, I'm calling it now. He's back. He's back.
What the impact it's going to have on the matchup as Doran is just desperately trying to get this wave in, and that is fine. He would have been okay if he just got the wave in, but just wants to get a little bit of damage in. And again, this was the original plan. I didn't quite get a look at the timings of the rotation, but if the plan always was to lane swap, then it even does less. A Showmaker doesn't have TP, or a flash rather.
Yep, doesn't have a way out of this one. Faker doesn't find that Q, but I don't think he needed to, as there's the Nimbus Strike. Down goes Showmaker in this mid lane. The answer is there, one apiece as far as those kills are concerned in the game. They go wide towards Gumayusi.
This does create another game, though, where I feel like it's somewhat of a flip side of last game, where Beryl should be fine here. It feels somewhat the opposite, where I think T1, even though they have really good side laning, also have an insane 5v5, right? And that's, oh, in we go!
Yeah, Destiny comes on through as the flash is going to be flashed away from, so no pulverize there for Beryl. as aiming is going to move down. That will be the last grub secured here by DK.
Okay, but I don't think Shio actually wants to force an all-in unless Lucid is going for the long wraparound.
Yep, Shio looking for a bit of an angle here as he flashes, gets the all-out, as now Doran just getting himself out of here.
A little early, maybe.
Lucid was just taking away the enemy Krugs, but they're setting up a dive. That is going to be the plan.
Oh, Owner's on his way. I don't know if he'll be in time. Counter-Strike, is it up?
Yeah, it does have flash as well. Doran does have some outplay potential, but the supreme display of talent comes down. He gets the double stun, as now Owner will find the Cyclone for the cleanup. There it is. And T1, oh man, sacrifice Doran, pick up a double kill.
There we go.
There it is, even gets a cheeky little red rock as well, as we're gonna get this one from Doran's perspective. As I think he knows that there is going to be some sort of gank attempt. And you can see already, Owner is moving down. Yep, Counter-Strike and naming his cooldowns, things like this, knows that this is coming.
The fact he gets the Counter-Strike.
I mean, if he had have actually died immediately, then it would have been good for DK, but survived.
I mean, actually, what I didn't notice the first time, DK, as they should contest for sure.
Well, KIA is going to try and deny it as the Destiny comes down, gives them full information of what's happening here around this Herald. Let's see whether Luce can make something happen.
She was running.
Yeah, KIA goes in, finds a Magnus Storm onto only Beryl. Not exactly the optimal target. A supreme display of talent. Also, not getting too much done, but aiming. Going to be able to pick up his first kill of this fight is now Showmaker.
She was here.
Flashes over the wall. Doran looking for an angle onto Lucid, who goes into stealth. And Shio protects Lucid. Doran is going to go down as now Faker doing battle with the cow. And Shio's flashing on top of him, aiming, trying to get amongst it, as Owner's over here as well, and that's just a 1-0, but Lucid goes over to the Drake, and they should be able to take that too.
Atlas, I figured.
Oh
they're
my
fighting
God.
in the mud.
And look, they've got really clean clothes, you know, like they're not prepared for this. DK have had time to buy their galoshes.
As they're still going.
Yeah, but he's going to be the Rift Herald secured here by Owner. Collects the eye there at the same time as Showmaker doesn't quite have that gold card. And Owner does just worry a trickster his way out.
I don't really know what it means. We might find out, as Shio will be able to get the turret here.
But it is traded, and who managed to get it? It was T1, a split second. So they secure the feats of strength. That was extraordinarily close.
Yeah, that was literally within a second of one another. As Owner is on vision, see if a trap is set up. It's really hard to actually lock down the Wukongers. Oh, Beryl!
Yeah, Beryl gonna find the Pulverize here as he's looking to try and turn it onto Gumayusi. Missed by the Slurkle though. And Beryl does have to blow the ulti. Faker possibly out of position, and Lucid can just dance towards him. He gets the redemption, but I don't think he's realm warping out of this one, and aiming secures his second kill of the game. It was already almost definitely going to be a Drake, but the problem is the Drake is right next to an Otacon. Showmaker is going to immediately start up.
That's a gamble.
Well, they are known to do that, as they are 2.5k ahead, but that may change now as we've got an Ocean Soul. They are looking for a turn.
Wait, Barrel's behind him.
Oh, no.
Barrel's in that little pocket of vision, I think.
The Assassin Cow, but we're not going to know for the next little while as Cassante is showing on vision. The rest of DK are going to back. There he is! There's the Destiny! He pulls off Gumayusi as Shio dives in. Guma just flashes away though, and Shio is instantly evaporated. And now Faker is going to make his way in. Beryl just gets him out of there with a headbutt. But without Shio, DK may just lose the Otacon, and they may lose more as well. The flash counter-strike from Doran! And another double comes through for Owner, as now KIA is just picking them off one after the other. Lucid lying on the floor, and aiming is taking an outer turret in the mid lane because everything was going wrong.
And that too is Rise Group. Otacon.
Oh God, you called it.
We knew. Has a Siren's Call that DK cannot deny. Colossal win there for T1. They get the team fight. They get the objective. They got a ton of bounty gold as well. If they get the inner as well, this is going to be a monumental swing. Looks like that might be the case. And
yep, and that is the exact gold lead DK had before they went for that Otacon. Now being won by T1.
34-3. Better than last game. He's back in again as Guma.
Yeah, Beryl is flashing forward. There's a Supreme Display talent, and down he will go. They make sure of it there as well, but the Cyclone for the follow-up. Showmaker not going to get knocked up though, and he does find a card. Isn't going to be able to use it, as we can see as Xiu started this dragon already. Xiu on a flank angle, level 16 here for Showmaker, as there's the Destiny. In goes Showmaker and finds the gold card onto Faker. Great knock up there from Beryl at the same time as the burst was huge. But can they actually lock down a target? It's a Magnet Storm from Carrier. Doesn't quite get enough done, but it's a trade of these supports, and Doran decides now is the time to go in. Aiming does manage to get a cleanse off, and he takes down the Jax. It is Lucid that falls at the same time, so in the end, a 2-for-2 trade. As the gold card comes through, Faker a little worse for wear now, as Showmaker looking very healthy. But Showmaker has Destiny, right? So starting off this Baron can always be a bit dangerous, but the teleport comes through from Doran. He gets on top of Showmaker now, whose gold card does absolutely nothing, and he ults. The Destiny does come on down, as now Aiming is trying to deal with Doran, who also goes gold, and then the redemption is going to be there. Doran for Baron. I think T1 is saying worth on that one, as Aiming, yeah, he might get another kill, but these turrets are just going to start falling.
And Lucid attempting to flash over, steal the Nash, not going to be the case. And as you highlight, that's a trade you'll take any day of the week of your T1. So I think that T1 was really looking to push a lot more aggressively there, because with a lot of resource being thrown at Xiu, they do get the sums, right? Like Xiu now doesn't have flash 16, that is a big spike, and Aiming also now has the IE done, so he does a lot of damage!
Destiny comes in, Beryl looking for an angle, but doesn't quite get the pulverize where he wants it, as Gumayushi is able to flash his way out, and they dive on top of Aiming! The flanking Yunara! That was not what we wanted to see, but T1, they turned on a dime. It's a big realm warp to get T1 into the DK base, as Beryl decides he wants in on that party. I don't know whether he necessarily should have, but now T1 are going to make a big dent in this top side of the map, and this is the first big advantage that we've seen so far in this game, and it may only last a few minutes because T1 are looking to just end it.
I think they can, Atlas!
Oh, this is ridiculous, because it felt like it was so close for so long, and now it is just done. Doran thwacking away at the Nexus, as Showmaker is going to go gold, and Xiu not going to be able to find the angle, and the Nexus will now go down. T1 will even out the series here in our first best of 5 of the playoffs, and make it a best of 3. I remember a specific one in 2023. That was pretty good.
Atlas, both these two compositions have one mode. Go. There's not really a plan B. We're looking at extremely volatile lanes. Lane matchup is really, really, really fun. So I think you just want to stay in that as...
Oh, Beryl.
In they go.
Possibly a little too far up, as he does manage to get the passive onto the Leona, but it's just Gumayushi killing Braum. So Beryl goes down. Now Lucid finds himself in a 1v2.
DP.
Does have the permafrost, as there is the teleport in from Xiu, who pops out the weirding, but it's Lucid that's going to be going down, and I don't think this play will be salvageable. Even if Gumayushi goes down here, it's still a trade-off for T1, and it is going to happen, so at least Xiu does get that, but still a disaster.
So it looks like Owner is just going to get one of the earliest Drakes of this series.
Yeah.
Definitely the earliest for T1.
Only been around for a couple of minutes. I think it's about the same clip as game number 1.
Yeah, but that was DK, right? T1 have been very...
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, as far as the longevity of our dragons.
Very true.
Yep.
There isn't really anything being traded objective-wise here, and I think it's because the prio is so firmly in favor of T1, right? Faker's winning his lane, bot lane is winning his lane. The only lane that DK have is specifically the top lane is, oh, maybe Xiu can join this. Would have to run over.
There's a cheeky little angle there from Showmaker being looked for, as Faker wants to pop the passive, does manage to do so.
As it is just, what, 1-for-2 grub, so DK
1-for-1 as far as feats of strength are concerned. I think I'm going to put it in the Nothing Burger column, as he is a, you know, a warrior of Demacia.
Doran knows, man. Doran knows. He's like, no, no, I'm not falling for... Maybe... Oh, no, Doran, you are right. You're right, Doran, you're right. Yes. Yeah.
If at first you don't succeed...
I mean, they have a lot of burst, and Doran doesn't have ult.
It's a flash in from Beryl, but he doesn't really find anything. The redemption comes down, the solar flare is there. Ulti from Showmaker, and they lock down the kill. Still Lucid, could be in trouble, but Aiming, the cavalry have arrived, and the turret is going to be enough to take down the Sejuani, but make that a 2-for-1, and DK going to be feeling a little bit better. to take this entire turret.
Yeah, it's a really big win for T1 because Faker's going to get the turret, which is huge. Doesn't quite get the final play there, but still going to be happy. Gets the turret. So that is, right now, gold lead growing for T1. Skill pretty evenly, as long as no one falls like super far behind in gold, because they're both just... They're gonna just bash their faces into each other. Atlas says they might right here.
Yeah, that was a very weird sort of chain of events, but Beryl is still in so much trouble and does get cut down. I saw the solar flare and I'm like, ooh, I don't know whether that is the angle, but Carrier knew his turn to have some free time towards this bottom side.
By the way, Faker went just Storm Surge, making his goals in this game very clear.
Yep.
Herald taken. It's gonna be Feats going over. Now it's DK looking.
Yeah, there's a redemption, as Lucid's health bar is going to be okay, and the T1 give this one up.
They can afford
see, no,
to.
teleport is there for Carrier, so he can come back at any time as Between Worlds comes through for Shiu. Has actually the backup of this culling. As Ona flashes away, Showmaker goes in, finds Gumayushi! And they're now looking to take down this Rift Herald, distracted by Shelly as she gets permafrosted, but they do manage to get the turret, and the Drake has not been taken. He's going to be running his way through here. DK, I think they have a small window to try and make this happen. As Beryl is going to be swept. There is the Zenith Blade. I think Beryl is just dead as the Equalizer does burn him down. Showmaker
Faker behind him!
Faker finds it onto aiming. He is just dead. No second ulti required. And now Doran is just walking through to take down the Sejuani. Once again, DK try to take more than they're allowed to.
And they get Guma. But afterwards, there's just too much time spent for DK. Not really get... Oh
dear. Shiu not going to get hit by that 5-point strike, but doesn't get over the wall, and the Zenith Blade will find him. Takes a bit of time, but then the Q is going to be found there by Faker, so... Showmaker, okay! That was pretty sick. Unfortunately, nothing really came of it outside of losing a turret.
I think he thought he was going to get the kills. Why not? Hail Mary, yeah. I guess.
Let's burger flip for the Otacon as Fake. Oh my god, that damage was obscene. Doran there as well as the Glacial Prison goes to Narnia, and aiming will find a good culling angle, but it's Carrier that tanks up the entire thing. Shiu's dead already. Beryl was dead pretty quickly in the fight, and there is one of the swiftest aces that we've seen in recent memory. T1, they needed to shake some cobwebs off, but they're really starting to come alive in this series.
That's what we were expecting coming into the day, Atlas. It took some time, but let's be real.
0, 1, and 13, by the way. 100% kill contribution for Carrier.
Oh, yeah.
A little difficult, like when distances become larger than 37
Surely
kilometers
kill
away.
Carrier, right?
They're going to look for the angle. There is the exhaust immediately onto Showmaker, and Faker gets himself in there. Carrier is just fine. The rest of DK have all turned up, but the Akali being so frustrating for DK still. The health bars are so low. They take down the Yone, though, and it's a double for Ona. Beryl runs the wrong direction. That's going to make that one a triple. How did that not even work even a little bit as Doran picks up the exit kill? Aiming goes down, and Shiu's like, where's the rest of my team? Kind of like what I assume he's been saying most of the game. Didn't he E to get to where he was?
Well, he E'd at the end. So I'm just hoping that... I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that one. As there is Mountain Soul, ladies and gentlemen. The game was already pretty cooked, and now it's very not okay, as, again, if at first you don't succeed, engage onto Carrier one more time, as he will redemption to make sure that all of their efforts are for naught. This teleport is one of the teleports of all time, but he does make it to relative safety. Still, it's the Braum that's going to pay for his sins. There's another very deep teleport to come on through, as Faker not going to find the Shuriken, but still just going to find Shiu. That is going to be a boomerang that takes him down. In the meantime, Ona is killing Showmaker and Baron at the same time. It's a triple for Guma, and this game was so over already and is even more over now. T1
not disappointing on some of their trademark champions. Doran gets the rubber, and that felt like a sacrifice. You know, it's like, Doran, I'll tank the bad matchup. He's 5-1 and 7.
Yeah, they have a bajillion more gold than their opposition. 13,000 thus far.
Kali is also very fed.
The R5 Akali, man.
Atlas,
and this is after Faker had a pretty worrisome game number 1.
Yeah, started off rough.
Phenomenal here in this game.
I'm just saying, Atlas, we both made the same tweet after game 1, and so far I'm feeling vindicated.
It's certainly looking a bit like that. It's okay, Glacial Prison this time is going to land. The kitchen sink hits Doran. Then they realize that it's Keria that they want to kill, who Zenith Blade's under a turret and doesn't look any worse for wear. Beryl puts the door up the wrong direction. If there is any metaphor for this game, that would be it. As T1 look to take down an inhibitor. And honestly, right now, it does feel like they're playing with their food.
They really are. I do think that we're going to be lucky. I know Shiwa's had some great base defenses. I don't think this is going to be one of them, Atlas.
Well, they're preparing him. Maybe this is what DK's plan was all along. All right, how good is your base defense,
He's dead. He's dead!
He is, yeah. So that's not as good in this position.
He killed Keria.
Hey, there we go. That's pretty good. But their Nexus exploding, not so good. But fantastic for T1 as they move to match point.
Or the Tristana into Talia. Looks like that is going to be the case. So we are just playing for aiming on wave clear duty. And
Tristana doesn't like Vi very much. Crescendo.
And it looks like they'll be able to. I don't think they really want to contest too heavily. As Vi really good at taking early dragons with her W. And T1 just keep playing ring around droids. What this does mean as well is that we are not actually seeing aiming be able to utilize his passive at all. We'll see if they actually. This is a kind of an ideal scenario for Maokai though. Forcing them to walk into you. You can get a lot of value on your ultimate, but don't forget, Faker has a wall.
Barrel 6, Carrier is not the box, not necessarily the most valuable, as there is a hook connecting. Flash out of the way of another hook there from Carrier as the wall comes down. And Barrel in a little bit of an awkward spot. Great buffer there from Showmaker as now Owner just separated from the rest of the team, and he'll be taken out. First blood goes to the Tristana, and a great start here for DK.
Okay, doesn't walk into it. I want to highlight as well, Shio is going to be a champion that I don't think... Oh, hold up, Lucid.
Yeah, we'll be in a little bit of trouble here. Bramble Smash to try and get Carrier away, as the hook is going to guess the angle as Weaver's wall comes down, and Lucid is just really dead. They'll give the kill over to Gumayushi as well because they have that luxury.
And Lucid's back up. The Andres is done as well. I think DK actually have a good angle if they can execute on it, and that's always the question.
Yeah, Barrel is going to be out of buffer the hook, but another form of CC comes in right into the seismic shove as Barrel flashes, but it's not going to matter. Still, it's a trade as Faker does go down, as red-white guns are set up for Gumayushi, but without Talia, this contest is going to be hard.
Yeah, that's while we saw Barrel go down, Lucid just engaged onto Faker, blew him up. Not a lot of counterplay there as they're looking for the steal. There's a lot of burst on Vi.
Yeah, he does want to go in, try and take this one away, but Bramble Smash exists! And Lucid is able to secure the dragon. Feats of Warfare come in for DK. Warfare exists for that reason.
Yeah, that one's good. And it has the drama.
I'm pretty sure Captain Flowers also said Feats of Objective at one time, because he was like, why doesn't it have a cool name?
I think it is just that.
Yeah. Well, Doran is now in a lot of trouble. Like a big amount of, many troubles have been picked up here, as the flash does have to come through. Shiu is going to die for it, and Doran is going to try and run to the wave, try and take it down.
By the way, fielding full damage. You'll love to see that as well.
Yeah, a couple of books. Some codices.
Oh, this might be a big fight here. Look at Doran.
Yeah, already just going to press that R button. He will oh, never mind. Gets past the little wall. And that is just a dead Lucid immediately. Owner has overextended, but he's able to flash back over that wall. Mega Inferno Bomb does a fair bit of damage, but now Shiu, what the heck are you doing there, my friend? He is just going to die. And DK, they found a great angle, and then they threw it in the bin.
Is Doran making the difference there? As, I mean, they do have passive. Oh?
Yeah, that's a really nice little flick back and aiming. Going to be able to pick up that kill. Was that a satchel? Offensive satchel usage worked out? That's crazy.
I'm really happy to report that in this group it looks like, or in this game, it looks like we are in fact back to It's Rise group, baby.
Oh, yes.
A lot of back and forth. Oh, the trap on the owner here. And they got the topside turret, so it's definitely in favor of them. But it's also not the end of the world. For DK, Showmaker, second item done. Aiming, second item done. And these Drake fights, I think, are going to be big as
Weaver's Wall going to come on through here as Beryl, no choice but to really start a fight here as the box goes down. Lucid finds the Nature's Grasp as Keria flashes himself out of the way, and now Beryl looking for the angle. The hook is going to get blocked there by Ona. Oh, it's so selfless, but they put a billion wards on top of the Lantern.
Continuously these good fights is...
Oh my god, as you say it.
That's good, yeah, it's Tristan. It's Tristan 6. That turret is gone!
Very, very dead.
But you have an Aphelios. Like, the champion is extremely good at what it does, but you can't really be having this messy team. Like, he can't fend for himself.
Yeah, and the problem is...
Even with him being 3-0, like, he can't just walk up. He will just get focused.
Real, like, that hits home.
I don't like it.
I like that a lot. Thank you very much,
really
Chronicler. It's all right. Lucid going in, looking for an angle onto Keria. He puts the box down. Mega Inferno Bomb's there, and the Thresh is now gone. Depth charge means that Gumayusi cannot do much damage to follow up, but still, with only Thresh down, is this an Otacon angle?
Again, it's just, this is Soul Point, by the way, for DK.
Yeah.
And this is feeling like game number 1, Atlas, not like game number 2 and 3.
Yeah, this one...
So they need to find a member. It can be Showmaker, it can be Aiming, it can be Shiu. I don't know if it can be Lucid, kind of depends on whether he gets his ult off or not. That is blown up at the beginning of a fight, so that Guma is in front. If it's a slow, we're just sitting there and poking, I think DK take it. The poke from Aiming, even a couple of autos from Showmaker can be huge, but it's T1, so you know they're starting that Baron.
Yep. Gumayusi now with a Calibrum, bit of long-range weaponry, but this is going down so quickly. Showmaker needs to get over here. Nature's Grasp comes down, but Doran's buying so much time, and the Baron is secured. Doran has to try and flash, but he can't click on the lantern. There is too many wards as the hook goes wide, and now she was just trying to hold them in position. Is this outer turret going to be enough? That's the question.
There's no way.
Keria tanking a fair bit of damage there.
There's no way.
They're fishing a barrel, and this is a Ziggs composition.
Oh my god, the poke! They're just gonna keep on poking!
Exactly, Faker's gonna try and wall his way out. Beryl in a lot of trouble as the buffer doesn't quite work out. The Vault Breaker is going to break it. Baron's up as the hop gets Shiu out of there, but that means T1 now have an avenue to safety. DK will be able to take down this turret, but they do lose the Baron.
I mean, we did kind of highlight that it would be very T1, very DK.
Yeah, DK are just not here.
Well, they can't be because they're behind on tempo because they didn't have Nash, right? So finding for Prio is very hard. Oh, that poke.
That's getting decent now. But if Aiming's picked off, Doran, remember, can always just go in.
It's just such a good Ziggs angle, right? As a Faker's going to try and split it. We have Owner in the pit. Might be a 50-50.
Get the steal, that's the question. There's the wall going down. They split off the Dragon, but Lucid gets out of the way of the seismic shot. There's Smite going to Lucid, and they blow up Owner immediately. The hook! Gumayusi is massive, so's his ultimate, but the AoE! Showmaker with the double buster shot into the Nas setup, man! That alley-oop between the top and mid of DK is gorgeous! And Doran just caught licking his wounds. He was a zombie, so never mind, it's a clean ace! Well, Barrel's dead, but that's as close to a clean ace as this team gets.
Only one man knew, the Barrel Whisperer himself!
No, I did not know. I refuse to let anyone congratulate me. That is not allowed. It was 100% cope, and I am still coping to this day as these Nexus turrets are going down, and DK cue up the silver scrapes, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to Game 5.
Right, you're just gonna, you have multiple win conditions when it comes to your early game. I think particularly the Poppy Slam and the Tryndamere pressure in lane. If they don't have pressure in mid lane though, this is like 3 losing lanes and the game just ends. Just gets spotted.
Showmaker just going to be able to eat a whole bunch of that red bar. Ignite goes down once again as Shiu does land a lot of this needlework. Dashes forward, stacking up the snips. There it is! And they close the gap. Shiu gets first blood.
They play for Drake, as they should.
Well, Showmaker is just going to be able to dive on top of Faker here.
He is falling behind pretty substantial in CS though.
Yeah.
But again, we are also going to operate on the assumption that they have a really hard time in late game. I don't think they have great tools of locking down this smolder.
Not to mention the fact that there's a Gwen in the game.
And this is where you really feel the nerfs to Gwen. Right, the reduced slow is actually a big deal.
Watch it.
It is.
개 지린다.
He's so calm when he's saying, that was a sick play, Lucid.
Thank you,
really
Lucid.
good job.
That's awesome.
Lot of inclusivity there.
There is no TP for either, so they shouldn't be able to join.
All right, the setup's there for the Ivo, and there's the trigger seed. They get the heroic charge as well. And boom goes the Trundle. Mum comes down as well. And Gumayushi's level 6 has the Feather Storm. But I think the weather's looking pretty clear for DK as Doran having to get out of there. Daisy's upset. And DK in a phenomenal position at the start of Game 5.
Yeah, I don't really know how to parse that, Atlas. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see. They're gonna go for the dive on Doran. Showmaker still has ult. He can just take aggro.
Exactly. And Doran is going to be able to press his dominance button, but that is Feats of Warfare secured as Smolder collects the kill. 1-0-1 for the Little Dragon.
Trundle.
Yeah.
I mean, Doran doesn't get to play the video game here, right? As a Shield might be in trouble.
All right, in live, we can see Faker will be able to kill the Gwen.
All right, I take back, they do get the cross map. Testis, but Doran isn't here yet. They're gonna give this one up. That's so much time. This is just 5-minute spot for DK if they end up having a bad mid-game fight, which...
We'll have to see what the soul is going to be. We haven't had a Hex Tech today. It's a little bit of a worry. Faker going to move towards this outer turret, towards the bottom side. A Showmaker not going to get slowed down by that gravity field too much. And, I really have to, like, because it wasn't good setup, was it? Like, it made it sound like I knew.
They're going to get first turret blood.
Yeah, T1 just going to be able to come on over here and grab it.
Ooh, that's going to be big gold swing.
Could be a decent one.
It'll be a trade, so maybe not too big, but it does mean that they ensure that...
I mean, it's only going to be about 400, 500 or something like that. As this is going to be pulled back as Showmaker going to stop Faker from going home. And Owner is going to turn back up again, so just presses a bunch of buttons, all the ones that he had available to him. And we need history to mean something.
Is Doran in trouble?
Well, yes, he's going to have to flash. Heroic Charge is going to come down, though, as Beryl gets inside that brush. That is the Dominus, but he's taking so much damage. Shiu just gets out those scissors, and down goes the Crocodile. 0-3-0. I've never seen you this dumbfounded, by the way. I looked over at you just after that play, and you were just, what is happening?
I'm shell-shocked. I really am. As that is another kill going over to Shiu, who I think is the best member to get it on. I think Faker doesn't have enough damage to actually take down the inner. No, definitely doesn't this early on in the game. So they get Herald, but they give up the kill. And again, the kill going over to the Gwen, I think, is a really big deal because the tools for T1, they don't have tools of dealing with silent threats. Like, who actually deals with this fed Gwen?
Who deals with the fed Tryndamere if he gets fed?
Oh, it's Tryndamere. I don't know. That's a champion from a very early...
The trigger seeds can land. You can get that value.
Now, if T1 gets a big fight here, that could be their way back in. I think they really do need to deny him.
Yeah, he was fishing for some stacks, and he just gets punished. It's Owner that locks down the kill, and now Faker trying to get that damage down. Showmaker will turn up, and you cannot be doing that. We have to remember that this is still a composition that's on a tightrope, and now the Rift Herald comes up. The outer turret is taken, and T1, they'll claim a gold lead in this game.
Mid gonna go down as well. Can't get hit by that hook. Flash was up for aiming. That's going to be Dragon.
So that might help him as the Rift Herald now just going to be a walking ward, but Beryl comes through, evicts Gumayushi from the fight as now Showmaker hasn't pressed R yet or anything like that as Doran trying to be a nuisance. Owner will be able to take down the Dragon, but now he's stuck in the pit. The rest of T1 are over the wall. He still has Flash and he is going to have to use it.
Swing of the tempo vibes. Yeah, he's flopping, but you have Flash. You cannot get caught by that. If you have to use your Flash there, it feels bad.
Yep.
Nicely done by Carrier there. Obviously, the gold lead for the Trumbull doesn't mean that much as they're here.
This one could be uncomfortable as there is the Featherstorm out. That might be a bridge too far there, Beryl, as he does try to redeem himself, and it does not quite work. As DK now on the run, Daisy getting amongst it as Faker just flashes on top of Lucid. The gravity field is going to stop him, and another hook connects onto the Smolder. And ever since that first hook landed, Showmaker is now fighting against Doran. That's not ever since, but it's a thing that's happening right now as he still has the Undying Rage with so much control. And now it is just kind of gone as Faker going to walk at Xiu once again. Doran moving over here. Xiu knows it's going to be a real rough time as the gravity field does go down. Beryl here to support though, and Faker just steps a bit too far forward. Doran is definitely dead now as well, as Xiu should be able to chase him down. Little chicken above the head was what Showmaker was offering, but it will be the kill going over to the Gwen. 4-1 and 0. Oh, Hook sidestepped, even with the slow. Pretty important. Aiming could take some notes. The Strybreaker comes down here from Showmaker. Remember, Faker needs to do a lot of work to make sure that this Tryndamere dies, as he hasn't pressed the R button yet. Still hasn't pressed, and then just dies. Okay, that was weird. There's another hook. This time, Beryl is going to be able to avoid it. Spot, that is Otacon, that is Soul Point, and it is feats of strength over to T1. So many things not represented in that. Yeah, there is not a lot of vision opportunities. There's now Faker. Let's see whether this Keeper's Verdict is going to land, and it is going to do so as Beryl gets a big old shield. Heroic charge to try and get him out, but Gumayusi finds the Poppy. Showmaker has to get his way out of there. He flashes away as Daisy going to be going down as well. That's 50 gold in the pocket of Guma.
He got it!
And the hook is going to connect. Down goes the tree. Down goes the smite as Mom is going to try and make a difference here. Xiu is still very scary, but the Baron, it's going down so incredibly quickly, and they just flap their way out. DK, no answers, and T1 take full control here.
The rest of the team wasn't quite there either. And if you're winning, Blitzcrank feels a hell of a whole lot better.
Oh my god, how did he know?
That's the blind hook. He's
the genius as Carrier getting taken down very low. As Owner getting in amongst it. The flash away from Lucid this time around. But he's going to leave Beryl out to dry, and he is definitely dead. Now T1 with Baron and a man advantage. No more split pushing available for Showmaker, as he needs to be back defending.
But unfortunately, neither Aiming nor Showmaker in this one thus far has been able to make their mark.
Yeah.
In a positive sense. And we will see if just the idea of this Smolder is going to be enough. The burn is hitting.
I mean, he really does hurt. The problem is they haven't been able to find too much as Beryl goes in once again. Massive AoE, but they haven't finished off the targets. The flash forward from Aiming, that was insane, and not in a good way, as Lucy going to be going down as well. Xiu, can you tidy up the fight? It is now all about you, as Owner is going to get taken down, and Gumayusi holds the Tryndamere in place and says, nope, you're just going to get kited. That is going to be the kill for Faker as well. That's the ace, and that should be the game for T1. It took 5 games, but they remain in the upper bracket, ready for a date with either HLE or with Gen G. But man, they had to work for it today, and at least we got one hell of a series.
And T1 claims their victory.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.